This is Rockslapping Champions. Player 1, playing Dehaka, we have Arthur. And player 2, playing Abathur, we have Fizzle. So let's have a look at the mastery points over here. Both players are playing on brutal difficulty. We have Dehaka at level 321 Ascension. He's taken a mix between the Devour buff time and the Devour healing. Usually the Devour healing is a lot better. It keeps Dehaka alive for a much longer time. He's gone also for the Primal Worm cooldown instead of the Pack Leader time. The Pack Leaders are significantly more useful than the Primal Worms. And he's also gone for the Gene Mutation chance, which doesn't really make that much of an impact. It changes the chance from like 20% to something like 26%. It's not. It's very, very misleading, the Mastery label on the in-game interface. Abathur, on the other hand, has gone for the Toxic Nest damage, Symbiote, and the Toxic Nest charges over here. I tend to go for a smaller split instead of the 30 nests, but it really depends on your playstyle over here. Abathur has already put some creep over here, and he's going to start clearing his expansion. But yeah, generally speaking, the Toxic Nest charges is completely down to your playstyle. If you are a person that prefers to use Toxic Nest very liberally, then by all means go for the 3 points of the Toxic Nest mastery. But Dehaka over here now is going to start making his way towards the expansion. He's on the hunt. He spots the rocks. He starts poking the rocks. Doesn't seem to be doing a lot of damage over here. But he's motivated. He's going to try and break these rocks down with the solo Dehaka. He's going to slap those rocks down. And now Dehaka changes his mind. He's like, you know what? Nah, I'm just gonna walk around here and just figure out, what to do. Look at all these toxic nests over here. This must be really, really cool. I'm just gonna stand in the middle and just admire these nests over here. This one looks particularly interesting. Gets bored. Moves towards the expansion. He doesn't really know what he wants to do over here. Let's have a look at the production. He is putting down his Glavix Den. And Abathur already going for his lair, which is really good. Getting the lair tech units out is very, very important. Abathur's almost finished clearing his expansion with his double spine crawler. And now that the rocks are down, Abathur can send over a drone to take his expansion. Dehaka still staring very angrily at that nest. Oh, and now there's an attack wave. And now Dehaka decides to go and help his Zerglings to deal with this. Attack wave is over here, Reapers, which means we are dealing with a Shadow Tech composition. And Dehaka is just slapping these Reapers down. No jump on Dehaka, just plain old slapping. Zerglings have finished clearing out the main rocks, and they're going to start nibbling away on the expansion rocks. Abathur has completely cleared his expansion, and has just now put down his hatchery. A little bit delayed on that, but it's no real big deal for Abathur. The early game for Abathur is mostly just running around with 1 or 2 roaches to try and get your Brutalisks out. As soon as you get your Brutalisks, the rest of the mission, like they can, one Brutalisk can carry you to at least like the 6 or 7 minute mark. They're just that strong. Production wise, here we have a Mervar's Den coming down for Dehaka, and he's already getting his first attack level upgrades. And we have 4 Ravasaurs being made right now from the Zerglings up there. But we are dealing with a Shadow Tech composition. Shadow Tech is a pretty nasty composition here. Dehaka is focused on attacking these Reapers down, and Dehaka goes down. This is why getting the heal upgrade for Dehaka is significantly better for his mastery points. The Roach gets focus fired down by the Reapers, but manages to survive. Kind of gets lucky with that Locust that has just spawned from the dead unit over there. There is another attack wave that's coming up from down here, and like I said, this is a Shadow Tech attack wave, which means they're going to be Reapers, and the Reapers can actually jump up the cliff. And as you can see over here, and they are going to start working away on Fizzle's drone line. So let's have a look at the units lost here. A total of 15 drones have been lost so far, just through the Reaper damage over here. There is a small attack wave that's come up over here, but the Toxic Nest that has gone down kind of saved them. But those Zerglings don't do anything against the against the Reapers. Dehaka is still sending his Tyranosaurs here. I think the strain, there's enough DPS to get the strain down. But yeah, the Primal Worm finally now takes out the first attack wave. A few of the Reapers died to some of the Toxic Nests over here, but they're going to focus down Dehaka's drone now. And down goes one drone, and down goes another. And they've basically taken out, I think, 3 or 4 drones? Yeah, 4 drones have gone down right there. Dehaka's respawn and finishes up whatever's left of the Reaper line. Have a look unit-wise what we have. We have 3 roaches, which is the optimum number for Abathur. Although I can notice that, notice how the sizes of the roaches are different. It means this roach has some biomass over here. I can't actually see how much biomass this roach has. Much better to try and focus the biomass on a single roach to try and get your Brutalisk out. 1 Brutalisk plus 2 0 biomass roaches is a lot better than 2 50 biomass roaches. For obvious reasons. The ultimate evolution makes a huge difference over here. Production-wise, Dehaka is just, charging through his upgrades right now, and there we go. This is the first Brutalisk out. This Brutalisk will help Abathur deal damage to the train. And it'll allow him to be able to handle this train without any problems. And as we can see, we have Liberators out right now, and there are, 6 Liberators in this mix.
Evolution complete.
They start sieging up, and very good dodges on Abathur's side, and now they start to focus Dehaka. Dehaka eats the first Liberator and then decides to stand in the Liberation Zone, and he gets a complete dose of freedom over there. Brutalisk, on the other hand, just slowly working its way over here, and the strain will go down relatively easily. There are a few Ravasaurs in the mix here. Army-wise, we have 6 Lings and 4 Ravasaurs for Dehaka. We have 1 Brutalisk and 2 Roaches for Abathur. That 1 Brutalisk is more than enough to deal damage to the strain and take it out. So that is good. Let's have a look at the production now. We have 2 Queens coming out. These Queens are good. They'll help provide some sustain here for Abathur, but I very much would prefer to see some Mulisks into the mix. I'd like to see Abathur go for some Devourers here. Devourers help a lot against Chowtek, especially against air compositions, but just having a few Mulisks in the mix can help deal with these Liberators, because these Liberators are really annoying. They keep sieging up, and as you can see over here, the Brutalisk can tank some of these Liberators, but the lack of anti-air really makes it difficult. 1 Queen goes down here for Abathur. There's a little bit of kiting. Out comes the second Brutalisk. This second Brutalisk will help a lot against these Liberators. The Brutalisk do a lot of damage here. And now we have a bunch more units. We have a bunch of Creeper Hosts coming out from Dehaka. I tend to not use Creeper Hosts very much, so I had to end up clicking on this to see, was it a Primal Host or Creeper Host? So, they might be a little bit useful, but personally I don't tend to use them very much. Okay, so we do have 1 Primal Host there.
Many enemies.
So Dehaka, again, gets focus fired down by a bunch of Marauders and Reapers. Surprisingly, no Liberators actually got him this time. Liberators start working away on this Queen. Queen just explodes into tiny little bits. Liberators are trying to take out that Brutalisk. They're trying to focus fire down that Brutalisk here, but I believe the Brutalisk will be fine. The Symbiote is very useful in providing a shell that can lengthen the lifespan of said Brutalisk. This train is not a problem at all for Abathur. Dehaka does not know where he wants to go. He initially planned to go down that ramp to try and take out that bonus objective. He sent down his Lings and a bunch of his Primal Hosts to try and deal damage to this train. And he's deep tunneled across over here now. And he's working away on this Goliath. But there's another attack wave that has spawned up the top over here. Let's see what happens with this. I think this train will go down. I'll keep an eye on this, but I want to move up here to see how this attack wave is being dealt with. There does not seem to be anyone here. Abathur is making his way through, and there are a few Mutalisks right now, but it is nowhere near enough. And these Reapers are just going to work their way up here, and there is a Ghost over here as well. So that Queen goes down. And now these Liberators start sieging up on this side. That Mutalisk might actually survive because the Liberators are not in flying mode and anti-air mode. They're actually in anti-ground mode. A lot of these larvae go down. Actually, Abathur kind of got lucky on that. He didn't really get smash too heavy, but now we have a Leviathan out. We have another Leviathan over here. And it's going to get focus fired down by a bunch of Cyclones and a bunch of Marines, and down goes that Leviathan. That actually kind of stings because you need to have your Leviathans. They are so useful over here. And Dehaka notices the siege tank has aggroed him on this side. So total units lost. We have lost one Leviathan over here, and Dehaka goes down again through a bunch of Cyclones. Those same Cyclones were the same ones that actually took out the Leviathan, which is kind of funny. The Cyclones were an MVP here. This attack wave is actually one of the scariest attack waves in this mission. There are a lot of battlecruisers over there, and there will be a lot of casualties, and one of those Brutalists also go down. So all in all, we have lost... what have we lost here? We've lost one Leviathan, and two Brutalists actually went down in that attack wave. Glavik also goes down here. The Creeper Host and the Primal Host seem to be doing okay. And there'll be a Yamato Cannon going down on this. It's not going to take out this swarm here. And there's a hybrid that has spawned now over here that's starting to work its way. There is still this train that does not seem... And now there is a nuke. The ghost is over here somewhere. And it is going to drop a nuke. Oh, and the nuke goes down. Just in time. But now there is another attack wave there. This train is... this train should go down. I'm not sure about this train. No one seems to be focus firing down this train yet. This one's definitely going down though. And now there is another nuke. Does Dehaka have detection on this side? He does have his greater primal worms there. Oh, it's a double nuke. Down goes one nuke. And... oh, there's a worm. And down goes the second nuke. And now we have a bunch of Liberators in Dehaka's base over here. He did manage to take out these two trains, which is kind of impressive, but Dehaka just lost like all his production. I don't think he has... I don't think he has any of his Primal Wardens. Yeah, he does not have any of his Primal Wardens, I don't think. Which is kind of funny. So he actually lost all possibilities of production there. And now we have a train over there. So let's have a look at the total units lost here. We have 3 Dehakas lost, 1 Glavik, we have 1 Leviathan, 2 Brutalisks down. And I'm not really sure what these Creeper Hosts are doing over here. They're just gonna go down here, I think. Down goes 1. This Battlecruiser is just going ham on all of these Swarm Movers. That stings a lot. These things are really expensive. That one actually gets out with 1 HP, which is kind of funny. Let's go back to the train and let's have a look at the game. Yeah, the Battlecruisers are really nasty. They will Yamato Cannon Mutalisks. As you can see, these Mutalisks have enough biomass to just keep them alive, but it is very difficult for Avatar to sustain that. He's already lost 15 Mutalisks and 9 Queens, with 4 Brutalisks going down. This game is an absolute slugfest. We have a bunch of Primal Hosts over here. This train should go down relatively easily. And Dehaka slapping the train. So there's now another attack wave that's coming up over here. And it's going to make its way towards our 2 champions' base. Raven over here. I don't know where it uses secret missiles. Usually the Ravens will have a lot of energy. Down goes 1 Primal Host. Down goes another Primal Host. Secret missile on the Ravasor. Hits the attack wave. A bunch of Yamato Cannons go down on these Mutalisks. I think a few Mutalisks did go down in the process. So we're up to 18 Mutalisks lost, 10 Queens, 11 Roaches, and a total of 13 Primal Hosts were lost, and 3 Creeper Hosts. So that actually like really stings. But Avatar right now has a reasonable number of Mutalisks. He should be okay, and there is a focus fire down again from some of the Cyclones. Cyclones get really annoying for Avatar because they end up kiting your units, and in small numbers it actually it really sucks. We have so much essence, I just noticed as well on the ground over here that Dehaka hasn't picked up. Dehaka would be so much better off if we just picked up the essence on the ground. We have 2 Brutalisks now on the way. Again, we have 19 Mutalisks, 20 Mutalisks go down right now. This game is such a slugfest here Dehaka is actually at a point now where he doesn't really care very much about the Liberators. We have Doctrine going down for the try and deal damage to the train. I tend to skip Doctrine when I deal with air comps because I'd rather have an extra Mutalisk or two. I find that Doctrine doesn't seem to do very well against most units, to be honest. And sometimes I just tend to forget to build him anyway. But that train goes down, Dehaka will take this train down, and Abathur is making his way to his bonus train as well. This train again, he should have no problems dealing with this train. And now we have a bunch, 3 hybrids that are starting to work their way on this Greater Spire. I believe the plan is to get some Devours. Yeah, there we go. So that was the plan, and Abathur is now getting Devours. These Devours are really, really good for dealing with air comps, especially when they are all clumped up. A few Devours in your army can make a huge, huge difference in the effectiveness of your army. A bunch of Liberation Zones are going down here, and that one Primal Host just gets completely smoked by the Liberator attack. But right now, as we can see, Dehaka has entered Godzilla mode. He's reached max level, level 15. And he actually, I believe he has enough Creeper Hosts now to be able to deal with attack waves without really struggling. And likewise for Abathur as well, he has his 3 ultimate evolutions, very, very important. He has 4 Devourers in his mix, which is also really decent. He has his 3 Brulisks. So this is the last and final attack wave. Again, Cyclones will aggro the first Brulisk, and they're going to try and focus fire him down, but I believe that Brulisk should survive. And that guy should have more than enough damage. We have, as you can see over here now, the splash damage from the Devourers is what makes a huge difference. Additionally, they also have like extra HP, which really helps them with their survivability. I'm not sure why Dehaka is over here right now. I believe he's just working away on this base, but again, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. Abathur over here is going to slowly work his way on this side. Dehaka just asserting dominance and flexing on Amon. There's something being attacked over here. I think there's a ghost that is kind of invisible. This is just taking out these drones, I think. I think that's what's going on here. But yeah, Dehaka is just working away. So let's take a look at the final units lost here. We have 11 drones on 24 drones from the commanders. Dehaka has died 3 times. He lost 5 Brulisks, 34 Mulisks, and 1 Leviathan with 17 Primal Hosts and 5 Creeper Hosts, 42 Lings. And that is GG.